we're below the 111.09. Daily chart is 110.57, anticipating 80.19 as an objective over the next 3 to 5 weeks. Now, we did close the previous week back above this formation, but as you recall, I was only anticipating the possibility of 127.50 that I actually see as our key upward pivot point into later year. In other words, if we can close above the 127.50 in the coming weeks, then we've got a good low, at least for the quarter, if not through the rest of the year. But until then, the anticipation was, having settled back above the 111.09 channel bottom a couple of weeks ago, that it would allow a reprieve, if you will, and modest recovery into the upper 120s. Wasn't to be. In fact, on the daily chart, you can see how that formation held for a couple of days, and then we gapped clearly below it Wednesday of last week. Here we are on the defensive clearly. This does not look bullish at all. Gapped below, back below the channel structure. 110.57 remains our ceiling for the week, and you might even say through May, because below which, re-anticipating, if you will, 80.19. Now, we were expecting this as a longer-term objective anyway, but what we were allowing for was in the interim retracement up into the upper 120s before then presumably falling back again. And that really is the dynamic. It really is a 127.50 ceiling to an 80.19 floor of long-term support, with 111.09 or 110.57 on the daily chart a pivot point inside that. We've fallen back and away below 111.09, and we are on the defensive into May activity. There is a descending channel bottom that is very roughly held selling pressures the last couple of days at 101.39. That is our next downward pivot point. If we happen to break or open today below 101.39, I would expect 97.50. 97.50 is just a soft intraday level. It is a downside 5/8 Fibonacci from the move low about 2 weeks ago against the pullback high several days later. I do expect some degree of hesitation here on an intraday basis, and if we break 97.50 today, we could test 90.69 by the closing bell. That would be quite a sell-off day. 90.69 is the August 24 low. We spiked through it on the low day. It is still there to contain daily selling pressures. I don't see it today. What I do see, if we are to test 90.69 this week, would be a settlement today below 101.39. And then I think you have a secondary sell signal. So 3 to 5 day swing traders, you can still play 101.39. Holding above 101.39, in other words, continued daily settlements above the structure, will keep 110.57 in play over the next 3 to 5 days. And once again, if we close below 101.39, I would expect 90.69 within 3 to 5 days. Check us out at wickedstocks.com. You get a 5-day free trial up front. You also get weekly Apple stock, daily triple Q, daily SPY, weekly S&P 500, weekly NASDAQ 100 analysis, and 2 stock picks every week. You can see that all by going to wickedstocks.com.